Hey guys, welcome to FiveOne Volleyball. It's the place you gotta be if you're a fan of professional indoor volleyball. In today's topic, we're going to be talking about the Italian Superleague, the most competitive professional volleyball league in the world, and I'm going to be going over the most impressive best players of the season so far, and we're about 60% of the way through. So all-star teams are one of my favorite traditions in North American pro sports, kind of for the fans, for the players, just celebrating the best players of the season so far, fan favorites. It's a really fun event. The NBA does it well, the NFL has the Pro Bowl, something that doesn't really exist as much in volleyball. The Polish League does an all-star game, but Italian League, not really. So today I'm going to go over who I would pick as the Italian League all-stars if that existed. And the way it's going to work, I'm going to pick two outsides, setter, libero, two middles, opposite, and then I'm going to have a first team, and then I'm going to have kind of a bench, and the starters are obviously going to be the top players, and then the bench are the next 7 that I would pick. All right, we're going to start with the outside position, and the first one should be really obvious if you've been following the Italian League at all. Wilfredo Leon is the best player in volleyball right now by a decent margin too, and he's been continuing his unreal success in Russia last year with Sur Safety Perugia in Italy. There's 2 really crazy stats for Wilfredo Leon. Let's start with the big one, the fact that he has already broken the single season ace record, and we're only like 60% of the way through the season. The record was set by Osmani Verona in 2011-2012 with 67 aces. Wilfredo Leon already has 70, and he still has like 10 matches to go. It's absolutely crazy. He's averaging 1.15 aces per set. Just absolutely crushing serve. Yeah, he makes a lot of errors, but the offense that it's provided for Perugia has just been incredible. And the other just absolutely crazy stat is that he's hitting at a 55% efficiency for the season. No other outside is even above 50%. He's just scoring really efficiently. Just absolutely monstrous athleticism for him. Can go over the block, can go around the block. If you give him even a sliver of line, he's going to take advantage and crush it that way. Just rarely makes mistakes and is a huge reason for Perugia's success this year. Our next outside on the first team is Serbian lefty Uroš Kovačević. So it's kind of biased because as of the recording of this video, Trentino is just like crushing it first in the Italian Super League after they added some really great pieces in the offseason. But also one of the reasons why they're playing so well is Uroš Kovačević has really found himself after, and he didn't struggle last season, but he's playing a lot better now. His 54% hitting is not as good as Leon's, but then again, Leon is just like a freak and we shouldn't compare any other players to him. He's just so much of an outlier. But 54% hitting, he has 7 MVPs on the season, which is a huge testament to how important he's been for Trentino. And the one area he does have over Leon is that he's passing actually quite well, 25% and above league average. So that's really contributed to the ability for Trentino to run their offense effectively. The second player from Perugia on this list is Alexander Atanasijevic. He's had a bit of a rough season so far. Formerly, he was the top dog of Perugia for the last like 4 or 5 years, but the wonder kid, Wilfredo Leon, is coming this year. Obviously going to be the top dog, going to be the guy getting the most sets there. So Atanasijevic is down from 7.71 attempts per game to 6.88 attacking attempts per game. So definitely lower usage this year compared to like the crazy number of sets he was getting last year, where they're running a lot of the offense through him. But he's used that opportunity to improve other parts of his game. Like his back row defense, I think, is a lot better this year. And his serving is incredible. He's at 0.7 aces per set, which is actually also on pace to break Osmani Wantarena's record. So he's just getting overshadowed by Leon though. But even given that, he's still the best opposite in the league, in my opinion. So now that we're done with our wing spikers, and move on to the middle position. And the first one I'm going to pick is also one of the easiest ones on this list. It's Sreko Lizinac, formerly of Skra Belchatov, and he's just having an unreal season. Already 5 MVPs on this season. He's hitting above 65%. He's scoring well at almost 3 points per set, which is a lot for a middle. And the thing that I think has improved most about him, at least in comparison from last year, is that he's blocking really well. He's averaging over 0.6 blocks per set, which, you know, is not something Sreko Lizanac is traditionally known as being a really strong blocker. He's more seen as an offensive middle. I mean, you can see why. He's amazing for huge arm swing, but not traditionally known as a super strong blocker. But he really seems to have improved that aspect of his game this season. And how much of that is him improving and how much of that is playing with Trentino, I'm not sure, but either way, the end result is impressive, well-deserved spot on this list. The other middle on this list is the Argentinian Sebastian Solé, making his return to the Italian Superleague after a year of exile in Brazil. Done an amazing job for Verona, leading the league in blocks at 0.71 blocks per set. Scoring really well again at 2.74 points per set on really high efficiency. Just done a really good job. Verona struggled a bit on offense, especially with Boyer not really having the same offensive output that he has in previous seasons, and Manavi and Sharifi weren't able to really provide a huge offensive output, so they've relied on Solé to provide a lot of offense for them, and he is not disappointed. His connection with Luca Spirito is really impressive, and he's just done a great job, scored really well, blocked a lot of balls, and a huge reason for Verona's 6th place this season. Next up is libero, and I don't think I need to tell you guys who it's going to be. Probably most of you going to guess. It's Grebennikov, best libero in the world right now, passing at 36% for Trentino, a huge reason why they've had one of the best passing lineups in the league so far and one of the best offenses in the league. Unfortunately, the Italian league does not record digs, which seems strange to me. It's one of the most important stats in volleyball, and the FIVB records it. But if they did, Grebennikov would undoubtedly be at the top of the list. I mean, you guys have all seen the YouTube highlights. He's just unreal at picking up balls in position 5. Any cross-court attacker is just avoiding that position just because they know Grebennikov's there. Unless you are hitting it straight down, he's going to pick it up. Huge reason for Trentino's success. The 3rd Trentino player on the first team, and there's a couple more to come on the second team. The setter was a bit of a tough position for this first team spot. The Italian league has a lot of really good setters, especially among the top 7 or 8 teams. All the setters are just unbelievable. But the guy I chose for this spot, if you watch my top 10 setters and volleyball list, you might have an idea of who it is. It's Micah Christensen, new player for Modena. Before the season started, we thought Modena might have a lot of trouble with offense. They lost Irvin Enkapet, who was a huge part of their offense before, and they replaced him with Bartosz Bednorz and Dennis Calaberta. Not terrible players, but not really offensive superstars you would expect from a team like Modena. But Christensen has done an awesome job, even though Zaitsev's been injured a bit, Max Holt's been injured a bit, but Christensen has kept that offense running beautifully. And the fact that they're the 4th most efficient offense in the league, given the weapons that Micah has to deal with, is pretty impressive. And of course, Christensen is just so good at all the other aspects of the game. He's averaging 0.37 aces per set, amazing blocker, amazing back row defense. So it was a close call, but Micah Christensen is my pick for the setter on the first team of my Italian All-Stars. All right, so those are my starters who I think have been the best players in the Italian league so far this season. Could change before the season ends. Probably will change by the time you watch this video, most likely. But Wilfredo Leon, Uroš Kovacevic, Sreko Lizanac, Sebastian Solé, Alexander Atanasjevic, Micah Christensen, and Genia Grebennikov are the players I think have been the best at each position so far. So I'm going to go over my kind of secondary guys for each position. Some of them are not really that secondary, it's pretty close, but I'm going to go a bit quicker over these guys. So first up, our outsides. First of all, we have Osmani Juantorena, last year's MVP, who's actually having a really good season again this year, hitting at almost 55% hitting percentage, not efficiency, but hitting percentage. Lube struggled a bit this season, but I don't really think it's his fault. His numbers are a little down across the board, but close to what they were last year. He could easily be on the first team. The only reason I really put Kovacevic over him was because of Trentino's success. But if Lube makes a push here at the end of the season, and they should, given the talent of their team, he'll probably be in consideration for MVP on the first team. The other outside on the second team is American outside hitter Aaron Russell, who has been having a fantastic season so far. His numbers aren't like as eye-popping as some of the other players on this list, but he's just been so valuable to Trentino's success. He's passing well, he's serving well, attacking well, goes without saying. But one area where he's really helped Trentino is his blocking. At 6'10", he's an intimidating force at the net and is a big reason for Trentino's block party that they've just been using this season to stifle opposing offenses. The opposite on the second team was actually one of the toughest positions I had to choose on this list. There's so many good opposites in the Italian Superleague. Svedin Sokolov for Lube has been unreal this season, but his numbers are down across the board, especially in blocking, where he's not quite as ridiculous as he has been in the past. And Lube, like I said with Osmani Monterrey, has disappointed a bit. Ivan Zaitsev has been crushing it for Modena, but has slowed down recently and also has missed quite a few sets, so that's the reason why I left him off. Mohamed Al-Hajdadi has been playing really well, hitting above 50% at a really high usage. I think he has the most kills in the entire league, but his team isn't quite as good as some of the others on this list. But Camille's just been so good for Ravenna this year. He's an amazing athlete, really physical presence at 6'8", really good jumper, really good arm swing, and just absolutely elite athleticism, even for one of the best athletic leagues in the world. He has a really bright future ahead of him. He's only 22, and we'll see how he does on the outside though, but I think a well-deserved spot on the second team for my All-Stars. The first middle on our second team is Marco Portrashannon for Perugia. He's been in the league forever. You guys probably know who he is. Amazing blocker, great server, and this year, one crazy stat, he's hitting over 70% efficiency. One crazy stat for Portrashannon is that he's only made 2 attacking errors on the entire season, which is just absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. Guy rarely misses. Does help to play with Luciano Di Cecco, but just amazingly efficient attacker and really big blocking presence for Perugia. The last middle on this list is Viktor Yosifov, who's done a great job blocking for Monza this year. One of the big reasons why they're doing so successful and they're firmly in a playoff spot right now. He led the league in blocks last season, and he hasn't really missed much of a beat this season, averaging 0.67 blocks per set. Not really the most offensively gifted middle in the league, but his defense more than makes up for it, and he's a bit of a beast from behind the service line. There are a couple players I considered for this libero spot on the second team. Salvatore Rossini, Santiago Donani, Massimo Colacci. There's actually a lot of good liberos in the Italian league that you could put in this spot, but the guy I eventually went with is Salvatore Rossini, mainly because he's just the best passer out of all of them, passing at 37.2% this year. He's also a really good defender as well, keeping a lot of rallies alive for Modena. He leaves it all out on the court. He hustles hard every game. Really fun player to watch. He's really one of the leaders and veterans on this Modena team. They have a lot of fiery personalities, Zaitsev and Micah Christensen. So Rossini does a good job of kind of calming everyone, centering them, which I think is one of the important things to do as a libero, especially among the passing line and the back row defense. And the last player on this list was a tough one, not because there were a lot of competitors for the spot, but because I kind of, now looking at everything, I kind of regret leaving him off the first team, and that player is Simone Gianelli. Just an absolutely amazing player for his age at 22 years old, done so well for Trentino this year. I can't believe he's only 22, and he's already the leader of Trentino. When you see them in huddles, everyone looks at Gianelli. He's the engine of this team. He's the fire of this team, and they're just doing a great job this year. He's leading their team to a 53% hitting percentage. He's helped by better offensive options, including Kovacevic and Lizanac, who are also on this list. But he's really orchestrating the team well, dishing it out fairly evenly to everyone, which is hard to do a setter. He's even making Luca Vittori look good. That's very impressive. And one part of his game that's really progressed recently is his blocking. 0.4 blocks per set is the same as what Svedin Sokolov's averaging this season. I think he could be the best blocking setter in the world. If you guys have anybody else you can think of, let me know in the comments, but I think it's Gianelli right now. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my picks for the Italian Super League All-Stars. If you guys have any other opinions of guys you think I missed, didn't mention, think you should make the team, maybe you have players that you think that were on the second team that you guys think should be on the first team, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Remember to check out FiveOneVB.com, where I post lots of content. Got podcasts going strong there right now. Got weekly recaps of the Italian League and the Polish League. So if you want more volleyball stuff, check that out. Hope you guys like the video. Thanks.